So I literally forgot that I was supposed to review this movie the week after, so I'm shooting this review like a whole week early. But I already watched the movie, so might as well shoot and record the review early. I was supposed to watch The Running Man, do that review, have that one up next week, and then watch this one the week that goes up. Video making, you don't need to hear about it. Silent Night, Deadly Night's gonna remake in December, so we are going to be talking about all 5 of these movies, and then we'll talk about the remake, of course, when that comes out. Yes, there are 5 of these movies. I did not know that there were 5 of these movies because I'd only seen the first 2, or only been aware of the first 2, I should say, because I hadn't really seen these movies until this came out on 4K, then I finally watched this. This movie is kind of an interesting movie. This movie, what year did this come out? It's 41 years old now. 1984. And in the 80s, there weren't really what Christmas movies are now. Because now, I think we're at a time where everything's so cynical that the cynical Christmas movie is probably more common than the happy, joyful Christmas movie. Which I kind of hate because I fucking hate the holidays. I'll be real about that. And the reason I hate the holidays is it's like when you get older, holidays aren't fun anymore because it's like it's money, it's family, all these stresses that come in, and I suffer from seasonal depression disorder, and it tends to hit me the most around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. And so when you see Christmas come along, it's not great, for me. So one of the things that puts me in that kind of jolly mood when I'm not in that mood is Christmas music, Christmas movies. So the cynical Christmas movies are big turnoffs for me. There's some that can work and I enjoy, but most time I do not enjoy the cynical Christmas movie. And I say that to bring this up because the 80s was an interesting time for Christmas movies because most of them were sincere Christmas movies. But then we had gotten to like Christmas Vacation, which was very controversial because they're like, wow, this is a very raunchy Christmas movie. And that was a big no-no. And why I think this movie sticks out as much as it does, even though I don't think it holds up very well. I'm not saying this is a bad movie for those who love it. I really enjoyed this movie, but I'm just saying this all to preface why I think this movie is still sticking out. Because I think people who watch this movie now, I will tell you, you may not enjoy this movie all that much. But it's because this is the first, Christmas slasher, other than Black Christmas. But Black Christmas was... I think that's a movie that's become a classic over time. That movie from the 70s to 80s wasn't really a classic. I think that's a movie once people started discovering on VHS in early 2000s and stuff like that. That's when it became a classic. At this point, no. Not 1981. Or 84. Right? 84? Yeah. But this movie is kind of like... I think it just sticks out because it's the first Christmas slasher, first kind of horror Christmas movie in the mainstream I could think of, where the plot of this movie is this guy dealing with some childhood trauma and some trauma around Santa Claus, goes around and starts killing people with Santa, and it's a pretty fun slasher movie. The parts of this movie that's dated is that there's a lot of moments where, hey, he ain't slashing and killing people, and there's really cringy, very bad music and other things like that. Things that just make this movie really a product of a time, and it doesn't really hold up great. That doesn't mean, like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's actually still a pretty fun movie. I think if you're someone who's just like, I just like slashers. I don't really care too much about the quality of them. I just enjoy them. There are a lot of people like that. You may have a lot of fun with this one, but this one is still not one of the better ones, but this one sticks out a lot for the people of the time. We'll talk about 2 next week. 2's a whole different beast. But this one, I think, I see why it sticks out. I see why it's fondly remembered for the people who grew up with it. But I think if you watch it now, you're gonna be a little like, that's an odd one. But I do love this movie. For just being so unique for the time. I do like the kind of like you know, posters and that kind of iconography around this movie, just because I think it just really does give this movie a vibe. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.